The School of Oriental and African Studies in London claims to be the world's leading centre for research into Asia, Africa and the Middle East. This conference was organised by the British Society for Middle Eastern Studies, known as BRISMES.
BRISMES has been in existence since 1973. We try to bring together mainly the academic community in Britain dealing with the Middle East, but also we're open to non-academics, and indeed we're open to non-British people. But we aim to represent the British academic community dealing with the Middle East in relation to, for example, government or the academic funding bodies or other organisations. So we try and represent that part of academia.
Called Do We Understand the Middle East?, the conference attracted a wide range of academics and some controversial speeches from the podium.
We have got some controversial speakers, and that's all to the good. I think that's where, in conferences, you get networking, you get new ideas, you get sparks, and that's what we want.
Professor Amina Wadud has a worldwide reputation as a Muslim scholar with strong views about women's participation in the interpretation of Islamic texts.
Women have become actively involved in helping to determine what it means to be human and therefore Muslim in the context of Islam and modernity. And this was not a characteristic of Islamic intellectual history to the extent that it is today. And it makes a difference because it yields different responses as to what might be considered justice in the context of social relations, politics, and family relations.
Professor Wadud argues that historically studies of the Quran and other texts have ignored the role of women because they've been largely the preserve of male scholars.
I think the problem is that any discussions about gender is touchy today because it's what I call the new commodity. Everybody wants to have something to say about it worldwide, but if you don't have enough knowledge about Islam, Islamic history, and Islamic resources, then you are likely to say things that are incongruent with that full trajectory.
The audience was offered a variety of perspectives on the challenges facing non-Islamic communities seeking to understand the Middle East. Dr. Kamal El-Habawi gave two pieces of advice.
The first one, the politicians on the top should lower their voices. The second, thinkers, writers, professors like you should raise their voices. And this may lead to mutual understanding, without which we will continue to live in the dark regarding the Middle East and other areas as well.
Dr. El-Habawi finished his speech with an appeal for Muslim scholars to return to the words of the holy texts when searching for solutions to such things as faith-based terrorism.
Unless we understand the requirements and return to the original Muslim voice, not the alternative to Abu Hamza, but original to Ibn Qudam al-Maqdisi and the prophets, either Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the prophets before him.